Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Ivan, and welcome back to CheckX episode number 23, I believe. If you're new here, sorry for the slightly different setting, but if you're new here, the CheckX series is pretty much me tracking what Elon's doing on X, and what he's posting on everything, every possible topic that you could think of, depending on Elon. Depending on what Elon says, basically makes this video. That's what I'm gonna talk about. And today we're gonna talk about what he talked about yesterday on Sunday, December 21st, 2025. He posted about 109 times, I think, in the not high hundreds, excuse me, but yeah, like somewhere between the 105 to the 110 range. And about I think 40 of those were in politics. So, and then still somewhat display stuff. But we're pretty much gonna get right into it. Starting off, we're gonna talk about a little bit of a Tesla and FSD, things like that. Starting off, Elon highlighted that the Tesla Robovan will effectively serve as a living room on wheels, potentially changing the visual landscape of city streets, which is pretty cool. And also, he emphasized the resilience of Tesla FSD, noting it successfully navigated a San Francisco power outage that disabled the intersection lights, while competitors like Waymo struggled because Tesla's AI is trained on billions of real world miles, rather than just simulations. And also, Elon described self-driving cars as couches that move, which is a really, honestly, interesting term to use, but it makes sense, suggesting that they will eventually compete with offices and bedrooms rather than traditional vehicles. And also, Elon celebrated Tesla's continued dominance in Norway, where the Model Y has broken registration records, which is pretty cool. And also, in terms of integration with Grok AI, was also showcased, demonstrating how a driver can use voice commands for complex multi-stop trips involving superchargers and specific types of parks. Moving on to xAI, Grok, and the future of AI development. We're just gonna go through this at a decent pace. So by the way, let me know in the comments if I am talking a little bit fast. I just want to keep a solid pace. Anyway, moving on, talking about xAI and Grok, stuff like that. Starting off, Elon announced that xAI is embarking on a major project to build an AI gaming studio, seeking the best of the best engineers for the task. And also, he shared insights into Grok development, noting that versions 3, 4, and 4.1 were all released within a single year. And also, Elon promoted Grok's personality, highlighting a mental health profile, a study where Grok was described as a chiller and possessing healthy coping humor, whereas other models were characterized as anxious, shameful, or traumatized. And he predicted a massive spike in usage with the upcoming release of Grok 420, and encourage users to add a Grok widget to their home screens for instant access. And also, the xAI team recently celebrated with a holiday party featuring casual robot fights using remote-controlled unitary robots, which is pretty funny. Moving on to government efficiency and fraud and DOGE, which we also haven't talked about. We only talked about DOGE like one other time, I think in like episodes 5 or 6, so this is going to be a pretty interesting one. Which, by the way, DOGE, if you don't know, stands for Department of Government Efficiency. Starting off, Elon addressed massive government fraud, particularly in California, which he claims orchestrates the most fraud of any state, citing $32 billion in unemployment fraud during the pandemic, which is crazy. And also, he characterized NGOs, by the way, NGO stands for non-governmental organizations, that receive government funding as a gigantic scam, and a contradiction in terms, arguing that their incentives are often backward funding, uh, is tied to the scale of a problem rather than its resolution. Excuse me. Um, and moving on, talking about immigration and global demographics. Starting off, Elon discussed the unprecedented deportation of self deportation, of over 2.5 illegal aliens, and 2.5 million, excuse me. um, and he expressed also grave concerns about European demographics, stating that Europe will not be Europe much longer unless birth rates increase and large-scale remigration occurs. Um, and also, Elon reposted content suggesting that many individuals characterized as refugees are not actually fleeing danger if they return to their home countries for vacations. And also, he criticized political leaders such as the mayor of Columbus, for advocating for advocating for mass migration from regions like Somalia, and even labeling such actions as betrayal to the country. Moving on with SpaceX, not too much there, but moving on to SpaceX, also a couple things. Elon reaffirmed that the ultimate mission of SpaceX is to make life multiplanetary, like Mars and stuff, and the Moon and stuff, to ensure the long-term survival of human consciousness. And also, he highlighted that Starlink now has over 9,000 satellites in orbit, which is more than double the rest of the world combined, which really shows the scaling there. And also, regarding the financial future of SpaceX, he suggested its value could reach $100 trillion. We've also talked about this a couple episodes ago. Once infrastructure like mass drivers are established on the moon to launch satellites. Moving on to justice system and judicial accountability. So really kind of getting to the subtopics of the politics area of this episode. Starting off on this topic, Elon called for the firing of Chancellor Kathleen McCormick, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, of the Delaware Court of Chancery, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that wrong as well, describing her as an activist cosplaying as a judge, after her previous rejections of his pay package were overturned. And also, he argued for judicial accountability, insisting that judges and district attorneys who release violent felons who then go on to commit further crimes should be named and shamed, which honestly I could agree. I definitely think that judges and and those types of people, like lawyers and stuff, they should be held accountable if they do repeat that stuff, because they clearly didn't help. They just helped them get out of jail, and it's kind of get out of jail free card. But then, well, I guess not really free. You still have to pay for lawyers, but you still have to pay for attorneys. But it's a complicated thing, and that's like the kind of problem, almost you could say, with. I mean, pretty much it is. It's a pretty big concern with the American judicial system as of right now. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna keep going here. Elon also advocated for ending the zombie filibuster in the Senate, calling it a violation of the Constitution. Moving on to media, politics, and commentary, the last little subsegment here. Elon echoed claims of voting fraud in Georgia during the 2020 election, suggesting that Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani, excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, were unfairly punished for raising legitimate questions about election integrity. And also, Elon agreed with Tulsi Gabbard's assessment that deep state warmongers are using propaganda to undermine peace efforts in Ukraine. And also, in terms of social issues, he shared content critical of leftist views on child gender transitions, and noted that because slavery was a standard historical practice, virtually all humans descended from both slaves and slave owners. And ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up episode number 24 of the CheckX series. If you guys made it all the way through, I appreciate you guys for watching. I will be back in my regular setting in the next episode number 25. So we're coming up on a month also. Coming up on day 30 there, which is going to be a pretty, hopefully an active episode, obviously. And if you guys made it all the way through, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, back in my regular setup. See ya.